Hello friends, we are on the Diego Martin Highway going south. The end journey is to a place called Mount Hope where I'm taking my son to the hospital. So that's the general area the arrows are pointing. Within this vicinity is where we will be driving. So I'm calling this the Diego Martin to Mount Hope trip. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. It's free. All you have to do is hit the subscribe button. Please like. Let your friends know about JB's Man Cave. This is a Sunday afternoon. Well, closer to the evening. This is the Diego Martin Highway. And as you can see, even though it's Sunday, there's still some traffic. When you get on the highway, you'll see it's more clear. Trinidad and Tobago is a country in the Caribbean. It's the southernmost islands in the Caribbean. It's very near to Venezuela, and so it could be mistaken on a map for being part of Venezuela. I'm sure the Venezuelans will agree that Trinidad is part of Venezuela, but it's not. It was a former British colony. So English is spoken here, and there's more of a British American adaptation than a Spanish adaptation, although there has been a lot of Venezuelans coming into the country because of the crisis there. In fact, Trinidad and Tobago seems to attract people from all over the world. So you'll find quite a variety of people of all cultures, races, and so forth. So this part that we are passing here is within the Victoria Keys area. Victoria Gardens is on the right, and the towers are on the left. Now this was recorded just before they finished the interchange, so it was still under construction. Powder Magazine is on the left and Westmoreland is on the right. And soon we'll be coming up to what is Cocorite. I'm driving through there. This is the Western Main Road. And because the sun is to my back, it lights up everything well. That was one of the reasons I decided to put up this recording, just to show you a drive going from Diego Martin to Mount Hope. And you'll notice the clear sky, right? It's all blue. Very few clouds, just in the distance. Such days are sometimes very rare in Trinidad because of Saharan dust and of course the massive amount of rain that we sometimes get. The overpass or flyover that we're passing under is the Western Main Road that takes you to St. James, but we are staying on the highway. And the highway will become the Audrey Jeffers Highway. On the right is the waterfront. There's actual ocean there, but you can't see too well because it's been blocked by the trees. I want to thank those of you who commented on my last road trip, which was Barport to Point Fortin. I was covering a lot of back roads there, notably all the bad roads, uneven roads, land slippage and so forth. You can see that the roads are a bit better here. Not perfect, but good enough to drive. It is after all a highway. However, it should be noted that some parts of the highway have depressions which to me are just as bad as potholes, because it can cause the vehicle to turn left or right, or harder to handle because of the speed at which you would go on a highway. The green here are mangroves. They help to keep erosion down by stopping the sea from encroaching on the land. On the left is the stadium, and on the right, to the center of your screen, that would be the Marriott and Movie Town and those areas. I know some of you who are new to JB's Man Cave will not realize how many videos I have, but I have thousands. And so for various parts of Trinidad, if that's what you're interested in, I actually have videos specifically for that. So for instance, if you wanted to see driving into Movie Town or passing by the stadium, I do have videos for that. I actually have a video map which I use to keep track of the longer videos, but there's another set of videos that I need to add to that, which are shorter, more specific videos. I have left some of the natural songs in the background, just faint enough that you could hear it. Trips to Mount Hope Hospital, which is where we're going, is a frequent thing for us as a family. I have children with special needs, so they tend to see these kinds of places often at times. This is Ryson Road, and on the left is a residential commercial area, and on the right is the National Flour Mills. You can see those cylinders on the right, to the right of your screen. Flour is imported here and then repackaged and distributed. This particular road will take you through Port of Spain, so you'll get a brief look at it, but remember it's a Sunday, so you won't see much activity. But as you can tell, people are always all out and about, no matter what day or time of day it is. In fact, I have a video, or I'm not sure if I put it up yet or not. Sometimes I have so many videos I can't even remember, but it's a video where I'm coming at 2 o'clock in the morning back from Mount Hope, and that gives you a sense of what it's like even at that hour of the morning. You can still see traffic. If it's up, do a search. If not, I'm gonna put it up soon. This part of Port of Spain is where you will see tall buildings and I guess a different look to elsewhere in Trinidad. This is the capital city. On the right would be the fire station headquarters. The Renaissance, the Hyatt, these are hotels left and right. The other tall buildings are government buildings, such as tax, legal affairs, and so forth. That beam of blue and white going across the screen in the center, that's a walkover. It takes you from the Bryan Lara Promenade, which I have a specific video for, to the waterfront on your right, where there's something called a breakfast shed, where you can eat as well as taking a water taxi. There's a water taxi that runs from Port of Spain to San Fernando and back. And I believe it also goes in other places. On the right there, that's the ferry that takes you to the other island called Tobago, and on the left, that's South Key. In some of these shots, you get to see the kinds of vehicles people drive. Most of the vehicles here are Japanese. There are other vehicles from different countries like Europe and the USA, but they are not as common as Japanese vehicles. There isn't a production plant here for vehicles, so the vehicles are imported as in parts and assembled here. So there is an assembly plant, but not a manufacturing plant. On the left, that wall, if you were to go over it, that would take you to the public transport bus station. And on the right, that would be sea lots. Now when we cross underneath that blue walkover, you will be on the Beetham highway. This is considered the outskirts of downtown Port of Spain. On the left is also the central market. You can get a lot of produce there for cheap. Not always, huh? Sometimes I've gone there and some things could be quite expensive. It really depends. I have videos for all those things. You can look for them on my channel. If you can't find them, just comment that you're looking for a certain video or ask me if I have it, and I will point the way to it. On the right is Bahadur Singh Hardware, which is a popular hardware here. They tend to have all the things that you need for your hardware. And NP's headquarters, National Petroleum, is also on the right. On the left would be the Beetham estate, and on the right where the green trees are, that's blocking off the city dump. Other videos, sometimes you will see a lot of smoke coming from the city dump because people will, or somebody or something will happen to ignite a fire there, burning all the refuse there, and it can cause a lot of toxic air. That's another video. Right now we're traveling towards the east. One thing that, if you haven't been in Trinidad for a long time, you'll notice is the use of billboards, such as what you see on the left. There are all kinds here now. Large ones, lighted ones, and so forth. Some of them can be very intense, very bright at night. And there are even trucks that go around with mounted billboards and lighted billboards, and they just park to show advertisements. It's not something you would have seen a few decades ago. Not so common. Now if I was to take the road on the left, that would take me to a place called Barataria. To the left would have been the Maritime building. And when we go under this overpass or flyover, we would be on the Churchill Roosevelt Highway. On the left used to be just farmland, but it has developed a lot. A lot of factories, places that sell cars, and so forth are all there. On the right are still the mangroves. There is some development on the right which you'll see further up. For instance, you can see the Porsche is being sold on the left, along with other brands from abroad. On the right is where you would go to DHL. On the left we just passed Solo. That's where the factory is, still there. Feel free to always comment in the comments area, but before you do, make sure and check the description of the video. There's always important information in the description that you should be aware of. A lot of people seemingly don't know how to check the description, and that may not necessarily all be their fault, but because YouTube constantly changes the design and kind of, you know, this is where technicality meets logic. They assume everybody knows how to find a description, but for instance, if you're on a phone, it's very difficult. Sometimes you have to click on the title, sometimes you have to click on the three dots, which is the menu. But really, to watch my videos in a proper format, it's best to do it on a wide screen, or, you know, like a laptop or a computer. That will give you more options and enable you to see everything better. If you're watching this on a phone, it'll be kind of hard to see everything with perspective. Personally, I don't enjoy phones at all. It's just a necessity, really. But anytime I want to view or check or search something, I always wait till I reach home and get on my computer, my PC or laptop. So we're getting off of the Churchill Roosevelt Highway. We're going to go left because that is the road that will take us to Mount Hope Hospital. I always like the green in these areas. I think it should be more prevalent. Trinidad and Tobago is such a beautiful place with regards to its flora and fauna. Everything just grows. The soil is so fertile. You just plant something and it just springs up with fruit and flowers and so forth. we should be taking full advantage of that. So merging here, we are now on the Royal Butler Highway. We're going north. And on this highway there are a couple of roundabouts, I believe. Maybe it's just one, I can't remember. But we're going to be taking this roundabout. And getting off on this road. This road is the entrance to Mount Hope if you're coming from the highway. If you're not familiar, some people will keep going straight and realize that they can't access the Mount Hope Hospital unless they do a lot of turning around. So this is the main way to enter if you're coming from the south or west. And there isn't many people around simply because, again, it's Sunday. But at least you get to see some of the grounds. This part here is also lovely for me. Again, why? Because of the green, the trees. Look at how nice it looks with the sun hitting it. The veterinary hospital is on the right. And on the left is where they take care of horses and so forth. I don't know if you can hear it, but there's the faint sound of the parrots around this time, sunset, or early in the morning. Parrots fly in pairs and they make quite a racket. All of this that we're driving here is part of the Eric Williams Medical Sciences Complex. It's a very big place, divided into pediatrics, the adult hospital, and veterinary clinics. On the right would be the adult section. We're going to the pediatric section. So if you haven't subscribed, please do make sure to subscribe. It's free. Tell your friends to come and subscribe. As it is right now, I'm getting close to 20,000, but that's nothing. That's a dot in the bucket. And if you appreciate what I do on JB's Man Cave, and you can, please do make a monetary contribution. Just go to jbmancave.com or jboard.com. There's a donation button you can hit there, and that will enable me to get most of your donation. I appreciate you watching. Thanks so much for being part of JB's Man Cave.